This is Duke University.
You've done a lot of different things over your career,
More
from
coming.
studying algae to developing submersibles to working with NOAA to writing for the National Geographic. Is there anything that you have done that you would have been a surprise to you when you were in grad school? Something that you might look at and think, wow, I never thought my career would take me there.
Well, I never thought I'd be a government official, as I was with being the chief scientist of NOAA. I never imagined starting and running a company, although it seemed the logical thing when it finally emerged as one of the choices that came my way. I never thought that I would be doing as much as I have been over the years as a spokesperson for the ocean and for science generally. You never know what's around the next corner in your life. Things that the best way to prepare for them is to expect the unexpected and not get so locked into thinking that your life has to be a certain way.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on now?
Presently, I'm involved with, in a sense, a spectrum of things, but they all are aimed at one thing, and that is to explore the ocean and do everything possible to take care of it. To take care of it as if our lives depend on it, because in fact they do, and to get people to understand why the ocean matters. And so that includes, as explorer in residence at the National Geographic, having the ability to participate in expeditions, put them together, and then execute them through the nonprofit that I started called Mission Blue, to similarly gather resources for expeditions and then get out there and either oversee them or participate personally, as well as to communicate both through the National Geographic and through Mission Blue as widely as possible.
What advice would you give today's graduate students?
Well, first of all, be glad you're alive now. Well, first of all, be glad you're alive. I mean, life is a gift. Think of the alternative of not being alive, not being here as a witness to the universe. That's what being a human being, really, above all else, you can see and understand things like no other creature on earth. And I so admire and respect all forms of life, each for its own sake. But humans are the most interesting of all, I think. And to be one is a gift. Don't waste your time, is what I would say. I mean, by that I mean appreciate the time you've got. I'm not at all opposed to just kicking back and looking at the stars or looking at a leaf or just listening to music. That's not wasting time. That's really enjoying the gift of life. But for those who say, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do. I just want to shake them and say, well, give me your time. I would love to have your time. For me personally, or for anybody else out there who would just love to have the hours that you consider yourself bored. What's wrong with you? Just open your eyes, look around. You don't have to go far. I keep thinking of that little verse, and I don't have it exactly right, but Alfred Lord Tennyson, when he said, "Oh, little flower in the wall, if I could know you all in all, I would know what God and man is." Okay, so pick up a flower, or a feather, or a leaf, or a rock, or whatever it is, and just think about it. A grain of sand, I don't know. Look at your own hand. How did you come to be, hand? And trace it back. You could just be endlessly entertained if you just use that brain matter of yours. And why waste it?
You spend a lot of time communicating to the public about science. What advice would you give to people who are students who are graduating tonight who might be considering a career of communicating to the public about science?
Some people are put off by the word science because of the image that it might conjure up. If we can just peel back the layers and get people to understand that it's really the joy of learning about the natural world and our place in it. And however you can express it, whether it's through writing, through music, through art, through research, or some combination of these. It doesn't have to be limited to just one avenue or another. It's just the distillation of being a human being.